أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نعمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ من أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وباركت وتعاليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Assalamu alaikum ya Jamaatul Muslimin. All praise is due to Almighty Allah, the one that we worship, the one that we sing for help, the one that we sing for His forgiveness, and we sing for His mercy. We sing for uh, his protection from the evil of our act and from the evil of our bad deed. Anybody that Almighty Allah have guided to the right path, nobody can make him to go astray. And anybody that Almighty Allah have will make to go astray, nobody can make him to go to the right place. And I declare that there is no anybody that is worthy to be worshipped except Almighty Allah, and that Muhammad is the servant and the messenger of Almighty Allah. Amma bad, may the peace of Almighty Allah be upon to the noble prophet of as Almighty Allah grant His peace and mercy upon to the prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, and also to the companion of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and his family as well. Amma bad, I hereby say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi to all my viewers on this YouTube channel. And today we shall be continue from where we stopped in our Islamic accounting, as we have learned in our last class that that is in Islamic accounting introduction 2 about the history of Islamic accounting. We learned in the first one we learned the meaning of Islamic accounting. That we say that Islamic accounting is what is an aspect of accounting, is a process of accounting that deal with what identifying, measuring, recognizing, and communicating of what economic information of economic information to confirm with what Sharia, in order to permit what judgment in the decision by the expected users of the accounting information. And this Islamic accounting is to provide what social welfare, and also to give accountability. Because account Islamic, as you have known that we as a Muslim, we are going to account in this world and also account in the year after. That's the significance of one of the significance of Islamic accounting. Now we discussed about the history of Islamic accounting, how it is being brought, how it is being imposed. Now today we shall be looking at the third aspect of the introduction aspect, and this third aspect, as we have said, that it deal with the Quran verses of the Prophet Muhammad. The Quran that we have mentioned in the second introduction stress the need for what Islam for accounting system, in stating the importance of writing and recording of transaction, business transaction. You understand? So, and this ayah of the Quran, that is when we say Sharia means the art of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. So now, this Quran is verse. This Quran, a verse of the Quran that relate most, because there are many verses of Quran that relate to economic transaction, but the one that is mostly related is the verse of the Holy Quran, that is 282, verse 282 of Albaqara. That is this verses is the longest ayah in the Holy Quran, and this verses deal with what recording of debt, recording of transaction. recording of transaction, as you know that accounting as a whole deal with what recording, classifying of what business, what transaction. So now inshallah bi qurati Allah, may Almighty Allah make it easy. We shall be reciting the verse and the meaning of the verse, and also the importance that the verse is trying to impart in terms of what accounting, Islamic accounting. Inshallah bi qur'atillah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاقتلوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يعبن كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله وليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق وليتق الله ربه ولا يبخس منه شيئا وإن كان الذي عليه الحق سفيها أو ضعيفا أو لا يستطيع أن يمل هو فليملل فوليهم بالعدل واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فإن لم يكونا الرجلين فرجل وامرأة ممن ترضون من الشهداء أن تضل إحداهما فتذكر إحداهما أخرى ولا يعبى الشهداء إذا ما دعوا ولا تسعموا أن تكتبوا صغيرا أو كبيرا إلى أجله ذلكم أقسط عند الله وأقوم للشهادات وأدنى ألا ترتبوا إلا أن تكون تجارة حاضرة تديرونها بينكم فليس عليكم جناح ألا تكتبوها وأشهدوا إذا تباينتم ولا يصر كاتب ولا شهيدا وإن تفعلوا فإنه فسوق بكم واتقوا الله ويعلمكم الله والله بكل شيء عليم. This is the verse of the Holy Quran. Now inshallah we shall be looking at the translation, that is the meaning of the hadith, the new meaning of the Holy Quran that was declared by that was declared writing by Prophet by Almighty Allah Azza wa Jalla and sent to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that it will be a guide to all of us as a whole in deal with transaction, in deal with all aspects of things in life. Now, Almighty Allah is trying to say to us, He said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh you believers, إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى, when you are making a transaction, when you are making a contract of debt within one or another for a period of time, فاقتلوا, that you should what? You should write. You should write it. وَلْيَكْتُبُوا بَيْنَهُ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ, and make sure the scribe, that is the writer, write it in presence of both of you, in time bil-adl, with fairness, وَلَا يَعْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ, and let no scribe refuse to write because of what Almighty Allah have made him to know. وَلْيَكْتُبُوا وَلْيُمْلِلِ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقُّ, and let him write. So let him write, and let the فَلْيُمْلِلِ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقُّ, and let the debtor That is the who is the debtor. The debtor is the person that what is owing that the let the debtor. The debtor, who is the debtor? The person is the person. Debtor is the person that is owing. A debtor is a person that is what owing. That is the debtor should what dictate. Ladina alayhi la'aqqo. He should dictate with what? The fairness. Fairness of Almighty Allah. Allahu Akbar. وَلْيَتَّقِ He should fear Almighty Allah. وَلَا يَبْخَسُ مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. And he should not diminish anything. That is, he should not leave anything in out of what they make agreement. فَإِنْ كَانَ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقُّ شَفِيعًا. And if the debtor is incompetent, أو سفيعًا, abi is weak, أو لا يستطيع, or is unable to write, أن يمل هو فليملل بالعدل. That is to appoint a person that he know. He should call a person that he know that he can write, and that person should write in form of what? Justice. وَاسْتَشْهِدُوا شَهِدَيْنِ. They should call a what? A witness of almost what? شَهِدَيْنِ, two witness. مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ, from the men. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَ الرَّجُلَيْنِ. If you cannot find a man, two men, فَرَجُلًا, you should find a man, وَإِمْرَأَةً, and two female. مِمَّا تَرْضَى مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ. مِمَّا تَرْضَى مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ, among which you have approved that they should be what? A witness. أَنْ تَدِلَّ إِحْدَاهُمَا. If one forget among them, فَتُذَكِّرُ إِحْدَاهُمَا أُخْرَى. The other one will surely what? Remember the one that forgot. وَلَا يَعْبَ الشُّهَدَاءَ. And the witness must not reject إِذَا مَا دُعَى, when they call him. وَلَا تَسْعَمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوا صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا. And you must not refuse to write your transaction, even if the transaction is small or what? Or big. Allahu Akbar kabir azza wa jalla. Ila ajali, with the time of the payment or the time of agreement. ذَلِكُمْ أَقْسَطُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Because this is what? Equitable from Almighty Allah. وَأَكْوَمُ لِلشَّهَادَةِ أَدْنَى أَلَّا تَرْتَابُوا. And this is a what? A stronger evidence that is mostly to prevent from what? Any form of what? Doubts. Allahu Akbar kabir azza wa jalla. So everything that we are doing, we have to keep record of it, so that that record will be as what? A form of evidence, in form of doubts, so that there will not be doubt. إلا أن تكون التجارة حاضرة تديرونها بينكم. Allahu Akbar kabir. Except in the case of a spot what? Transaction between you. That is the transaction that you are doing at that particular moment, that there is no need for you to pay. That is, you will give the money and you will receive your goods. So no need of what? Recording. Allahu Akbar kabir azza wa jalla. فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْهِ جُنَاحٌ أَلَّا تَكْتُبُوا. Then no one is to be blamed on you if you did not what? If you did not write. Allahu Akbar kabir. Allahu Akbar kabira. وأشهدوا إذا تباينتم. Allah Akbar. And let those be witness whenever you conclude is a contract. If you do, and let those be witness when you conclude a contract. That is, when you are making a contract, there must be, when you want to fulfill the contract, those that you brought as your witness must also be there. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar kabira. Allah Akbar kabira. Wala yudarra katibun. And nothing, no harm must be done on what you write. Wala shahid. And your witness. Wa il taf'alu. Because if you do it, if you do that, fa innahu fusuku bikum. You have harmed each other. You have corrupt one another. Allahu Akbar. Wattaqullaha. Fear God. Wa yu'allimukum. Wa yu'allimukum. Almighty Allah have what? Make you to know. Taught you. Wallahu. Almighty Allah bi kulli shay'in qadir. God is the knower of what? Everything in this world. Allahu Akbar azza wa jalla. Allahu Akbar kabira. This is the meaning of the verse of this Holy Quran. Now, inshallah, bi Qur'atillah, we shall be looking at this importance of these relating to what relating to the business transaction. But before we have to in summary about what was led in this verse of Holy Quran. This ayah is talking about how we can make a record of our transaction. That is, if we are making any form of business transaction, we must at least make it in form of written. And the person that is writing, or the person that is owing, must what? Be dictating, so that someone will be writing it down with the date of their making the agreement. And there must be a two witness from the men. If there is no man, there should be a one man and two female. Allahu Akbar kabir azza wa jalla. So also we must protect the script that was being written. We must protect it. Allahu Akbar kabir. We must protect it. We must not make anything to happen to our evidence, because all this our written serve as an evidence for us. Allahu Akbar. As you have known that Almighty Allah is the one that knows everything in this world. Now let's now look at the importance of this verse of the Holy Quran. The first importance of this verse of the Holy Quran, that the transaction that the ayah teaches us, is that proper, complete, and transparent of what? Recording of transaction and business transaction by accountants in fundamental of what? Islamic accounting. That is, this ayah teach us that there Almighty Allah have made us that any transaction we are making, we must make it in form of what? Form of appropriate recording. We must record our transaction, any agreement that we are making with another person, another second party. We must do what? Record it in form of what? Business transaction. We have to record it. Remember in our conventional accounting tool, we make a record of all our journals, all our ledgers, all our day-to-day transaction. Do you understand? So this is also talking about we should also make record of any form of transaction we are making with man. Allah Azza wa Jalla. Again, the second transaction is that the written contract is a main what required for all financial and business what transaction, especially debt, because this is the obligation of what? The party, that is the what? The debtor to the other party, the creditor. So that is, we must make sure it is form of written. We must not say we are just making mouth agreement. We must write it something down. As we have know that we must complete our transaction, we must write it down. If you are making a form of any debt agreement, you have to write it down. And the third is that Islamic finance contract require to what? Two witness to provide what? Check and balance mechanisms, ensure proper accountability, and ensure parties of the contract proper what? Honor to their what? Financial obligation. As you have known, the Quran states that we must have at least men two men as a witness. If there is no two men, we must have one man and two female. If so that if one forgets, the other ones will do what? Will remember the other one. The third one is that according to this as you have known that materiality concept in Islamic is unfortunately to a single word sent to recognition of what? Financial rights and obligation of contractual partners. That is, what this is trying to say is that a single kobo in Islamic accounting is what? Is materiality. What do you mean by materiality? According to conventional accounting, it states that materiality, according to the concept of Islamic concept of conventional accounting, is the materiality say that anything that can influence uh, the decision making is given to what? A strict what? Treatment. That is, any immateriality that cannot what? Influence, so it's not give at that extent of that thing that can influence it. Do you understand? Like, let me make an example of a stapler now. A stapler can be used for what? More than 1 year. So stapler in some organization is what? Immaterial, because what? It's the value of it, if it's purchased, it cannot affect the company. Let's just say you have out of 50 million naira, do you understand, and you lose, like, let's just say 50 million naira, you lose like you lose like 1 million naira. 1 million naira is immateriality, and according to this concept of conventional, we are not to give that 1 million naira street what? Treatment, but that remaining 40 million naira will be given what? Street treatment, because if 40 million is missing, forget, the company is what? Going to be what? Liquidate. So that's what conventional accounting is talking about, what? Materiality what? Concept. But under Islamic accounting is talking about single kobo is materiality. That is, when you are having a single kobo, that 1 million naira that is missing, you have to account for it. How come 1 million is missing, and those of the whole 5 million, if 1 kobo is missing there, you have to account for it. That's what Islamic accounting is trying to tell us. And also, the fifth thing that we are doing is that we are going to use to conclude that we should always fear Almighty Allah in any form of what? Contract agreement, even with the witness. Anybody that is called to witness, they should fear God. We should always fear God. As an accountant, as an auditor, when you are given an obligation, do it with fear of God. Don't embezzle other people's money. Don't collect bribe. As you have known that in Islamic, riba is what? Prohibited. Any transaction that is not clear, don't be involved of it. And let's fear Almighty Allah Azza wa Jalla. Let's fear Almighty Allah Azza wa Jalla. So Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah, Muhammad ibn Abdullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. We thank Almighty Allah for making this video easy. This is the Quran Vac introduction, Islamic Accounting introduction part 3. That deal with verse of 282 of Quran Albaqara. As we have stated, this is how, and this verses deal with what there is the longest one in the whole verses of the Quran. It deal with how we can record of any transaction we are making in form of debt. We have stated the meaning, we have read the verses, we have stated the meaning and the importance of this verses. Inshallah, Allah, by our next video we'll be looking at the difference between conventional accounting as a whole and Islamic what accounting. So inshallah, Allah, may Almighty Allah make this that is being make use of make it useful for me and for everybody that is listening to it. I will hereby thank all our viewers and subscribers on this YouTube channel for making their time and efforts in sitting down to watch our video. May Almighty Allah reward you abundantly. Amen. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.